Hello and welcome to Restorative Yoga. You will need a block or a book just as thick, one or two. You will need a yoga bolster. If you're interested in getting these, you can get this off of Amazon. Just look up yoga bolster. I got a different covering. You can get coverings off of there as well. Otherwise, two really thick couch pillows. Pause that and get it now. And we will start in everybody's favorite pose. So we're gonna just do it with this. Bring your knees on either side of the surface you're on. You are welcome to do this on the yoga mat. Otherwise, I would do this on a smooth surface um, like a wooden surface if you can. Okay. So bringing the knees on either side of the table, we're going to bring our seat back. And we're going to turn into child's pose, head turn left, or whichever your body is saying it needs to be turned. You can bring your arms beside you, if you so wish. Nice, slow, deep breaths in and out. Really breathe into that back body. Make sure the feet are away from each other. Child's pose is really good to stretch your legs and to make space into your back as well. Inhale. Bring the knees underneath the shoulders. Bring your head up. Exhale. Turn the head the opposite way. Child's pose this way also is a good neck stretch as well. Inhale and exhale, sliding the hands with the palms onto the surface you're on under your shoulders. Inhale yourself up. Okay, that was good. Now, we're going to turn the bolster this way, bringing the knees together, and we're going to curl the toes, bringing the bolster underneath your hips, and bringing the arms onto the table like this, palms on the table. I would engage the glutes to help the back, and be on your tiptoes for plank. You can bring the block underneath your chest if you need a little bit more support. And when I say engage your glutes, I don't mean to engage them fiercely. I mean to engage them loosely. So when you come out of this, nothing should hurt if you're engaging loosely. It's just enough to protect your back. If bringing the bolster underneath the hip is not calling to you, you can slide it up to your tummy as long as it is comfortable. Plank will definitely help you with your core because you have to engage your core in order for it to work, meaning bringing the navel in toward the spine. So this is a really good core work, but you have some assistance. You're not holding yourself up. And then make sure you bring the shoulders down. You don't want to be this way. That's a great way to cause injury. You want your shoulders down, so you should feel your shoulders back. Hands should be spread like this. Curl the toes a little bit more. Nice stretch into the gastrocs and the hamstrings. Gastrocs are also known as calves. Notice my head is not like this, hanging. Notice my head is not like this. Notice it's a little bit upright. If it's helpful, you can bring it a little bit more upright and look forward so you can focus on something as you breathe. Try to keep your back as even as possible with no arch. If you're arching it, that's more of a Sphinx type of pose, and you're welcome to do that. I would just get rid of the bolster. Three more inhales and exhales here. nice and full. Into the belly and the chest. On the last one, bend the knees. Rock yourself back for a nice little stretch. All right, we're good with time, y'all. Okay, so putting the block to the side, or whatever you're using for your props. We're going to bend, we're going to extend the left leg, top of the foot on the ground, or whatever surface you are on. We're going to bring the right knee forward and bring the foot out for pigeon. Had a brain fart there. So for pigeon, now some people like to bring the knee to the right side and put it right in front of them. You're welcome to do that. But if your knee bothers you, like it does mine when I do that, then I would bring the heel of the foot to the left hip instead, keeping the knee bent. So pigeon. Now if you feel really high in this is where the block comes in. You can slide it right underneath there as long as it doesn't affect your leg or your foot. But first I would encourage you to see if you can do it without it and if that hip will just come down. This is really good for your piriformis, which is a part of the glute. So if you have any sciatic nerve issues going on, in order to avoid that, this is great to avoid any sciatic nerve issues. I would bring my arms over each other and use the bolster to support you, and allow your shoulders to come down. Breathe into that right glute. You are also welcome to do the pigeon without the bolster if that is better for you. If you need a prop, you can use the block in place of a bolster if you so wish. And just allow your body to sink into the pose. If it continues to sink and you have chosen to use a prop, you are welcome to remove it if your body keeps sinking, especially if your hip is starting to go down. Be aware of any pain that may be coming up as you do this. If it is just discomfort, then breathe through it If it is pain, come out of it slowly and see if you can come back in slowly. Allow your body to relax and let go of tension, focusing on your breathing and any areas of tension you need to breathe into. Inhale yourself up, bringing the hands onto the surface, let them walk back to you. That was good timing. And then you're going to use your arms. You're going to bring the right leg, slide it back, top of the foot onto the surface you're on. Inhale the left knee and back into pigeon. If you feel like you need the props you used before, feel free to use them until your body gets into a position where it may not be needed. And notice the difference on the side. Maybe you're more sore on one side than the other. Maybe your hip is higher on one side than the other. And if that is the case, that tells you that there's a hip rotation. So in order to correct that hip rotation, if the hip is higher on one side than the other, bring that hip down as much as you can, even if it is onto a block. And eventually, the hip will be corrected. Again, remove props as your body sinks in further and further. Again, if it's painful, come out of it slowly and then come back in slowly using props. Otherwise, if it's just challenging and tension, breathe into it. Find your edge and relax into your edge. After all, this is restorative yoga. So we want to relax into what is uncomfortable, to restore that part of our body. want to bring the hip down even more, you can come up. If your body's telling you to stay in this position a little bit longer, you can. Otherwise, we're going to move on. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring our other leg forward. We're going to bring the bolster behind us. Make sure the bolster is near the small of the back. Bringing the feet together. Coming down slowly into reclined butterfly. Just for a minute. Won't be in this position long. If you feel like your glute is super tight, even after you just stretch, that tells you need a massage. Find a really good massage therapist. You can also use a tennis ball to work out the tension as well. Okay, inhale. Slowly let the legs extend. Use your arms to bring yourself up. Get rid of the bolster. And then come down into Shavasana, also known as corpse pose. You can stay in that pose as long as you need to. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me for 23 minutes of restorative yoga.